It's all getting on, folks. Thanks very much for coming today to support this awful cause. There's actually people here today that has nothing in their house and they're still here to support, so fair play to yourselves. Thanks a million. Good stuff. And I also want to thank everyone who reviewed the song and that I wrote as well about the crumbling homes in Donegal, and thanks to those who downloaded it and stuff like that. So fair play to the song. Went to #1 last night in iTunes. This is all about raising awareness. I'm trying not to do anything for myself about this. I want to make as much awareness to people outside Donegal to know what's going on up here. So everybody that supports really appreciate it. So thanks very much. This is often a very familiar song, but the lyrics I put it to myself for everyone here to see. So, come gather round, my fellow friends. Story I tell you is sad. It's all about my family home. I built it with all that I had. I settled down with my family here. My children were young and so small. We were proud and happy in our home in Donegal. But as time and years rolled by, the cracks they started to show. Then another year passed, they opened up fast as my corner block started to go. Myself and my wife, we've worked all our lives for a house now worth nothing at all. I know it's not right, we can't sleep at night in our home in Donegal. Nowhere to go, find some help, we searched near and far. Our politicians, our local TDs, they promised us the moon and the stars. As my house falls down, not one can be found to shout redress through the dawn. Though I'm standing on rock, I've got crumbling blocks in my home in Donegal. This road is so long, I must be strong. I know I'm not to blame, and I am not the only one. There's thousands, we're all the same. Do you remember down in Dublin, boys? They had no problem at all. It was 100% for their houses and rents, but it's not here in Donegal. Now for years the fight goes on, no one seems to care. All we want is our houses built. I don't think that's unfair. And a big fair play to Paddy and Lola Deborah Clan. Come on, they're going to fight for the song. They're doing their best to get 100% redress for our homes in Donegal. My last and final words are: stick together and stand as one. Now is the time to get it over the line. Stand up and fight for your home. I know that it's not easy and our task is so far from small. Let's make the change together for the homes in Donegal. Oh please God, send down your blessings to the homes in Donegal. Thanks very much, folks, for your opinion. Thank you. Lovely. Thanks, Mickey. For anyone that's interested, folks, I got CDs sponsored. A lovely gentleman from Ireland, Ireland sponsored CDs 100% for free. They're here at the stage, and everybody's €2 or €3 whatever you're charging. If you want to buy the folks, all the money will go back, and the iTunes money will also go back in to support 100% redress for the homes of Donegal. Thanks very much, folks. Fair play.
Hello everyone. What a beautiful day in every respect of the word. Hello Inishowen, Donegal, Mayo, Connecticut, Sydney, Australia. Thank you for the support which has been flooding in from the Donegal diaspora. We are here today with demands that must be met, and Eileen will talk to you about that in a few minutes. What started off as a trickle has become a tsunami. What started off as a spark has become a conflagration. The local campaign has become a national campaign. Today, we join marches in Buncrana, Letterkenny and Mayo, and this is only the start. The Mica Action Group fought a protracted and difficult battle for 10 full years to create the platform we stand on today through generating awareness and huge political capital. We struggled to overcome apathy and resistance from all quarters and to gain credibility at both local and national level. Resistant also were the lenders and the mortgage providers who refused to engage meaningfully with affected homeowners despite our best efforts to persuade them that it was in their interests to assist homeowners with the 10% outstanding. The people bailed the banks out, but there was to be no reciprocity. Many homeowners were stonewalled and could not even get a meeting with their lender. Some affected homeowners found that their home was subsequently sold off to a vulture fund. Resistant also were the home insurance companies who, in many instances when notified of Mica, swiftly moved to cancel policies or downgrade to contents only. The engineers who signed off on homes were silent. Notwithstanding, the people have found their voice. And today, you people are exercising your democratic right to natural justice. Our history has taught us that it is only in coming together that we can achieve anything. Our history is monopolised by our search for justice, and within that, our need for a place to call home, Awala. I believe the need for home is singed into our DNA. It has become a meme. Dennis Diver was one of the two pioneers in the Land League. He organised the first Land League meeting in Culdaff in 1900. He was arrested, imprisoned in Derry, and then spent a year with Charles Stewart Parnell in Kilmainham prison in atrocious circumstances. Both were released under political agreement. The journal article of the 1st of November 1918 states he, Dennis Diver, came out of jail unchanged and unchangeable, no sooner a free man than he threw his whole heart and soul into helping the tenant farmer. Who was Dennis Diver? He was Paddy Diver's great-grandfather. It again was the Irish National Land League who instigated boycotting, a pacifist expression of censure against those who do not respect human rights. Our homes are sacrosanct. They are the embodiment of our life's work, the place we find comfort and security, the place we feel safe. In short, they are our sanctuaries. We sing about our homes. Many countries have enshrined a right to a home in their constitution. In Ireland, a country with one of the highest GDPs in the world, there is no constitutional right to a home, making it acceptable for all of us here, even us here today, to tacitly permit a growing level of and tolerance to homelessness. But that is for another day. When we lost our homes in the past to an oppressor, we could pull together. Somehow, we could comprehend it. When we lose our homes today, as a result of defective blocks being supplied to us by local providers, when it begins to look like it was not a mistake, but a strategy based on greed, then we somehow find it more difficult to comprehend. It simply throws us into disarray. To see the providers of defective blocks first not taking responsibility, then carrying on as if nothing happened, is difficult for us all. But when it becomes clear that these companies were preparing to actually profit from the redress scheme and the misery, then it becomes a step too far, a travesty which we could not endure. When the Mica Action Group met with ministers and civil servants in Leinster House, we pleaded that these suppliers should not benefit from any redress scheme. But that seed fell on stony ground. Fall on stony ground it may well have, but enough is enough. No more! Some questions remain to be answered. We need to know why one particular block provider monopolised public contracts within the council. We need to know why the Irish Concrete Foundation invited a director of a defective blocks provider on to their technical committee. And this information is documented in their annual report of 2019. We can only extrapolate that the Concrete Foundation of Ireland is effectively protecting defective block suppliers. I contacted the Concrete Foundation of Ireland this week and formally requested, personally, by phone and by email, that they investigate my claims as a disclosure which warranted immediate investigation. I've had no response. A leading supplier of defective blocks in a statement last week said, investigations have confirmed that the company in question have always tested at point of manufacture and have at all times, past and present, complied with all relevant government standards, regulations and specifications. I ask you, good people, do you believe that? How could you possibly trust this company who were prepared to commit that paragraph to paper? restraint through the march. We, affected homeowners, have the moral high ground, and we will jettison that unless our campaign remains peaceful and dignified throughout. Hysteria has no place in this campaign, emotive as it is. Like the Land League, we must utilise peaceful but effective methods to attain our goal, and attain it we will. And finally, to our elected representatives, we thank you sincerely for your work to date. Your commitment to this issue will determine your political future at the next election. We need you to carry our voices today to the seat of government. We need you to work tirelessly on this issue between now and October, when the budget for next year will be drafted. Our timing today is very opportune. Thank you. Donegal homes matter! Thank you.
Hi guys, I'll try and not take too long. I want to start off by reminding you that the first pillar of the United Nations Guiding Principles on Human Rights underscores that the duty to protect human rights lies with the state. Under international law, states are obliged to respect, protect and fulfil human rights. States are supposed to protect against human rights abuse within their territory and or jurisdiction by third parties, including business enterprises, and we know the business enterprises we're talking about here. This requires taking appropriate steps to prevent, investigate, punish and redress such abuse through effective policies, legislation, regulations and adjudication. In practice, this means that states have the obligation to take measures to ensure that enterprises respect human rights. Past abuses must be investigated, the responsible parties must be called to account, and they must provide redress for the victims. We know that that has not happened. The state has failed us in delivering our own human rights in relation to our homes. Now, if we look at the idea of discrimination, discrimination is defined as less favourable treatment. A person is said to be discriminated against if they are treated less favourably than another, or if they are found to have been treated in a way that is comparable in a situation on any grounds mentioned above. So if you take that into account, and those are the obligations of our government to ensure that we have human rights, equal human rights, and that we are not discriminated against, then let's consider what they are doing for pyrite homeowners in Leinster and the east of the country. So firstly, if you just want to go through this for a couple of minutes, if we think about accessibility of the scheme, families in Leinster have to pay €550 to access the scheme to fix their homes. We are being asked to pay at a minimum €5,000 to €7,000 to access the scheme. That is completely and utterly unacceptable. I mean, at the end of the day, if you can't access the scheme at all, how in the hell are we supposed to get our homes fixed? The government needs to step up to the mark, and that is one of the key things that we are pushing government to address urgently. In addition to that, in Leinster, they are provided with €3,000 to €4,500 towards accommodation costs as their homes get fixed. We are provided with absolutely nothing. In terms of the percentage of costs that are covered, they have got 100%. We have, in theory, 90%, but it doesn't cover the cap on houses, it doesn't cover the replacement of doors and windows and sanitary ware, and it doesn't take into account the massively rising inflation costs due to Brexit that we're all hearing about at the minute. In addition to that, you have things like the drafting of new house plans and planning permission, things like that have to be sought. So if you think about this in terms of equality and discrimination, it's very, very clear to be seen that we are being discriminated against. And why are we being discriminated against? So we need to ask the government very clearly to make a statement as to why that is. So finally, let's address the statement made by the Taoiseach Micheál Martin this week, where he said the costs are not comparable, and that the costs are far more significant, and we cannot compare like with like. To be honest, guys, that nearly made me sick. It's disgusting. I would like to directly respond to the Taoiseach. You suggest that the costs are far more significant. However, are you suggesting that homeowners pick up the bill for these excessive costs, even though we have done absolutely nothing wrong and our homes are falling down around us? Let's remember that we are in this mess due to the ineptitude of government. You presided over a system of self-certification of quarry owners. You left us with this mess and you plan to walk away. You mentioned the significant burden that this will cause to taxpayers. Let's remember, Taoiseach, we are also taxpayers. We pay tax on our earnings, we pay VAT on the materials to build our homes, and you again ask us to pay VAT to rebuild our feckin' homes. Sorry. Do you consider this fair and equitable treatment, Taoiseach? Because I can tell you for one that I don't. On the issue of costs, let's look at this a bit more. You have handed Donegal County Council a scheme to implement, yet the same council are using the money to pay a company who caused this mess to build their own social housing stock, all on taxpayers' money. This beggars belief. How do you think the taxpayers would feel about this, Taoiseach? You have done nothing to stop this shameful act. How do you think the homeowners feel about this? We are out tens of thousands of euro, while the company who caused this mess will make millions from the scheme. This has got to stop. And Taoiseach, it is also notable that you have yet to come to Donegal. And I'm throwing down the gauntlet here, guys, because you have never come, Taoiseach, to Donegal. You are the only party leader who has not afforded families the opportunity to tell you and to show you firsthand the anguish and pain that this has caused. Shame on you, Mica, Martin. We once again would like to respectfully invite you to come to Donegal to meet with the family affected. It is the least that you could do. We demand fair treatment for the people of Donegal and Mayo. You have a responsibility, and we expect you to step up to the mark. I'd like to introduce now Sophie and Charlotte Farn. They'll just say a few words if you don't mind, and they'll tell you who they are. Thank you.
So my father, Paddy Farn, he worked alongside Mica Action Group from the very start, and he passed away in 2018. Today is a protest in memory of him, and me and my 3 younger sisters are fighting today to fight for our family home, which is full of memories of our dad. I'm just going to read a poem, and it's highlighting the experiences homeowners are going through today. So for many years we fought since the first crack did appear, and the government's intention was to very much stay clear, with the promise of the scheme to help us to rebuild, but this redress we were promised hasn't been fulfilled. The houses, they are crumbling, one worse than the other, families torn apart and no one seems to bother. Blocks meant for a lifetime are now gravel on the ground. These houses are a mess from the roof down to the founds. The redress scheme was drawn to give us 90%, but this is not enough to fix, pay mortgage, and on top of that pay rent. The suits they were in hiding, not an eyelid did they bat, just took them gravelled rocks and swept them right under the mat. Then came Paddy Dover with his Facebook post, and a certain block supplier Paddy did roast. They turned out in their hundreds to stop the lorry load and sent the big bro straight back up the road. When the pyrite came to Dublin not that long ago, the suits they had their redress and ducks right in a row. Why is it so different for us country folk? The way they push Donegal aside would make you want to vote. They won't be forgotten, Paddy will make sure of that. He will not be hiding rubble under any mat. He will not be waiting until a child is killed. He will not stop until 100% rebuilt. Paddy Dover, you should be proud of what you've achieved. All the Mica families are very much relieved, but there is still a long road ahead for each and every one, when the bros accept it is their fault why our forever homes went wrong. Thank you.
2 weeks ago, Dennis Cassidy, and Cassidy says, this is a load of nonsense, don't worry about it, boys, this will blow over. Does this look like this is going to blow over? Why are we here? I'll tell you why we're here. We're here because of Cassidy's, for starters. They have shown no remorse, and they have no morals. We all make mistakes, but they try to cover everything up. They've made that much money. They made 1.5 million in 2017. They never had the decency to put a penny back into the pot to the Mica homeowners, the ones that are affected like us. Not a dime. So show no remorse for them. Do the people of Cassidy's today deserve a redress if they keep using their stuff? No. No way. They've been wired not to use it, so don't. No redress from today on from anybody that uses their stuff. That's me personally. When this Irish Republic was formed, they promised us we would be treated equally. Well, does it look like we're being treated equally? In Donegal, we are treated like second-class citizens. I started this campaign because of my morals. My mother and father brought me up to stand up for myself and do what I think is right. We all know this is not right. I promised my children that things would be alright. So there's no way I'm going to stand and watch my house falling down while I sit back and do nothing. And in future generations, all the children here will know when things have been done wrong, that they can stand up and make things right. But this campaign is a bigger picture. It's 100% redress. We need our homes fixed. We're not asking for special treatment. Treat us the same as you treat the people of Dublin. We're treated for the pirate scheme. Nothing more and nothing less. Charlie McCumlough, this is a direct message to you. You and me grew up as next door neighbours, and I'm standing here today and you are sitting at the cabinet table as minister in this government. But have you forgotten, Charlie, that the reason you're sitting at this table is because me and people like me voted for you to sit there? You have a chance today to help the people, Charlie. Fight for us, fight our corner. That's what we asked you to do. Leave a legacy, Charlie. You have a job for life if you leave a legacy. Look at Harry Blaney, boys. He built a bridge from Fannet to Carrygart. That man's a legend up there. Charlie, do the same. Leave a legacy. To our local councillors and TDs, stand with us and fight with us. We are your people and we deserve to be heard. Give us the same attention and the same effort you do when you're coming asking for votes. If the Healy Rays were in this county, it would have been sorted out a long time ago. I still like to thank Mary Lou, Paddy McLaughlin, Piers Doherty, Joe McHugh, and especially Martin McDermott, being honest. They are doing things in the background that you don't really understand. I've learned in the last 2 weeks, my phone hasn't stopped, so I can't imagine what's happened to Martin McDermott, no harm. But the young people, get involved in what's going on. Get involved in politics if you want to make a difference. Learn to get your voices heard. You are the future. Be brave like the young Emer and Sinead Sweeney last week standing outside Charlie's office. Do not be afraid. Leo Barker promised Mag that we would be empowered with pirate scheme. Well, Leo, you lied. Why was there no investigation of this scandal? Does somebody have to be killed? We are going to be shamed. This country, this government is going to be shamed. If a chimney falls down and somebody's killed, are you waiting until there's somebody be killed before? Look at the crowd here. We are going to be shamed as a country all over Europe if you don't sort out this mess. We have to stand together. Everybody needs to get behind Mag, who are direct communication with the government. There's going to be an AGM called to Mag, and anybody with new blood, new ideas, get in contact with Mag, because it needs a shake-up, it needs a revamp. They've done very good, but listen, if anybody's willing to help, don't stand back, get in and help them. I'd like to thank my wife Amanda, my children Mark, Grace and Savannah for your support. Couldn't have done it without you. My brother Cahill, the Dover family, the O'Connor family, and all my relations, fair play to you have make me proud. And especially the Cairn people. You stood up, took a chance, and a big chance we took by blocking that lorry out there. So hold your head and pride with pride. And I have to mention Barry Kearney because he helped me write this speech, so he's been a fucking legend. One last thing. We are not going away. We will take this crowd, the Letterkenny crowd, the Mayo crowd. We will go to Dublin until we are here. We'll block the M50 if we have to, so we will. We will block it. Listen, I want everybody to turn around, show up your signs. There's a drone hanging overhead, and everybody's watching you. So turn around and hang up your signs and show we're here today. Everybody knows I love the Snapchats. So I'm doing a Snapchat here now. When I ask what do I want, everybody shout 100%. What do we want? What do we want? Can't hear you. That's the stuff. Right, let's go march through the streets of Buncrana.
How's it going, Kimmer? On the way back here, protesting, boycott Cassidy. Cops brought Cassidy. Sarah. What about Seamus? Give me a second. Come on.
Ah, that's the one. That's we still haven't managed to understand why the
No, they're friends of friends. She had a boy.
I know, sir. He knows, but he doesn't. If it's on every beat, think that you're not going to slap all of his hands.
Just in case it's on.
Hey, Seamus.
He's the second one.
Are these ice cream and put the sign up though?
Just like, no. There's no panic.
You can see with them too, they're labeled it.
No camera.
Hey, I'll be in touch with you.
Oh, it's a great turnout, Mark, so it is.
Between here, Jimmy, Dennis, and all those guys.
Yeah. Right.
Open the door, stand in
Oh, well, you come here, maybe. Hey, wait.
Again?
Yes,
No, don't come down here, man. It's mob. There's no traffic. Everyone's walking. You're on
How are you? You get yourself a new job, but then.
Hey.
Oh, I love
Good.
I'm wondering if you can directly to Mr. Donald.
Where is the politicians? live action.
Cock block, Cassidy. Yes, right.
On the table.
Like, would it be another mile?
No, I don't know.
Not me a mile, no.